Don't care how much you know until they poured into a student that counts. But what is learning? Love of the art. Education does. Teaching kids to count is to my father for living, but to my team, can never tell where his to think about the toleration. I am ungrateful. Ignite the imagination. Who is attempting to teach without inspiring. Good teachers know how to best interest. Education is the roots of education. The more things you will know. As if you were to die tomorrow. Learning process is not the filling of a learning. Education is
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible? Please put a yes in the chat. All right, thank you. Can see yeses in the chat. Okay, we will proceed. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this national level online faculty development program on the outcome-based education and application of generative AI in teaching and research, organized by the exam cell of Government College of Women Autonomous, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, in association with the Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Now, today we would like to welcome the resource person, Dr. Mendes Jacob, Professor and Director of MCA, Marine College, Kuttikkanam Autonomous, and he's also the MD and CEO, IPSR Solutions Limited. And we would like to welcome all the FDP participants attending today. Now, about this FDP, this is a one-week FDP program with live sessions from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And today is actually our fourth day of the FDP. Now, fee for the LMS access and processing of certificate is rupees 400. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recording for all the days, and the provision to download your FDP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FDP. Now, if any of you are yet to make the payment, You can make the payment of rupees 400 to the account details I've already put in the chat. If you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, they will be available in the LMS. Now, we have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till yesterday. Those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp today will receive the LMS access details, detailed mail later the day or by tomorrow. Now, if you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, we also have a YouTube live streaming session, the link of which I've put in the chat already. You can access the LMS from, you can access the live session from that link that I've put in the chat. Now, my name is Sujin Jacob George. I'm working as Global Relations Manager with IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, moving on to today's session, coming on to today's session, we would like to welcome Dr. Shahida Akhtar, Assistant Professor in Computer Science, Government College for Women, Autonomous, Guntur, to do the introduction of the resource person.
Respected dignitaries, esteemed resource person, and all the participants, warm welcome to you all for this FDP on outcome-based education and applications of generative AI in teaching and learning. Myself, Dr. Shahida Akhtar, Faculty of Computer Science from Government College for Women, Autonomous, take this esteemed opportunity to introduce our resource person, Dr. Mendes Jacob, sir. Sir, Dr. Mendes Jacob, sir, he is the professor and director for MCA Marine College, Putikanam Autonomous College. Sir is an academician and entrepreneur, and he is having 35 plus years of experience. Sir is a former director of School of Applicable Mathematics, MG University. Sir completed his PhD in Operation Research, and Sir has published more number of reputed research papers in national and international journals. Sir is guiding PhD scholars in both mathematics and computer science. Sir, Dr. Mendes Jacob, sir, is the CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited. It is a IT company supporting higher education institutions in the implementation of outcome-based education and innovative teaching, learning, and assessment strategies. I welcome sir for this fourth day FDP. Sir is dealing with the topic of mapping of outcomes, calculation of attainment and analytical reports, and ICT tools used for OBE. I welcome you, sir, and I thank for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Please wait. I think Mendes sir is having an issue with joining the FTP. Please wait for him to join it. Sir is having a problem with WebEx. We are trying to solve that technical issue. Please wait.
Your strength as well as weaknesses? Can you tell me about your strength as well as weaknesses? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, who's this? We are waiting for Mendes sir to join. Please bear with us. I think he's having a technical issue in joining. Okay, please bear with us. We're trying to sort it out as soon as possible. Yes, Mendes sir has joined it. He will present now shortly.
Am I
A bit breaking, but I just heard your voice.
let us say with uh,
Yeah, you're audible now. So you're on mute.
is it okay now?
No video, but I can hear your voice.
Okay, I will video because I think
Yeah.
there's some problem with the internet. Okay,
All right. Okay.
if it's okay, then we can start.
You're audible.
Good evening and welcome to this section. Sorry for the interruption. Actually, there was some problem with the WebEx, with the network. Anyway, yeah, we will. I definitely I will share the PPT. Before that, for the outcome-based education, mainly the concepts, how to design an outcome. And today we will discuss how to map the outcomes, how we can do the mapping process. And also, if possible, we will discuss the attainment calculation. Okay, I will share my screen. Just 1 minute. My screen is visible.
Yes, screen is visible. It's showing writing learning outcome.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So lastly, we have discussed how to design outcomes. So I hope you have gone through the slides. Anyway, we will start with from here. This is the learning outcome, the template, how to write a course outcome. This is an example of a course outcome. You can see you start with an active verb, like apply, then the content or a topic to be learned, then the contest. So the subject called the graph theory. Apply graph representations. Apply is the action verb from the Bloom's taxonomy. Then graph representations and algorithms, that is the content to be learned. And the contest in computer science. Suppose we are teaching a graph theory to computer science students. This is one of the course outcomes we can write. Okay, so I will leave the rest of the things because these course outcomes already, I think it's discussed by Dr. Sunil Chau. Then how to write a good outcome, and already you have seen the quality check for a good outcome. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4 likewise. Okay. There are some sample outcomes. Okay. Now we will discuss the mapping process. There are 2 levels of mapping. Okay. One is level 1 mapping, that is CO-PO mapping or CO-PSO mapping, that is level 1 mapping. And level 2 mapping is the assessments or the activities of each course. We will map to the course outcomes, respective course outcomes of that course. See, for example, for a course, we will be conducting different teaching, learning activities, also assessments. Okay, most of these activities we can map with the corresponding course outcomes of that particular course. Similarly, the assessments, maybe we will be conducting exams, we have assignments or seminars or something like that. All these we can map with the corresponding course outcomes. So we will discuss this with an example. Now, coming to the assessment in OBE, the final assessment is done by the estimation of program outcome and program specific outcomes, which will serve as a profile of the students' competencies. Already you have discussed about POs and PSOs, and the PO attainment and PSO attainment we calculated at the end of the program. Okay. We have the COs, course outcomes. Course outcomes are estimated from the component learning outcome of the activity related to that course. We may have different type of activities, learning activities, and also we have assessments. And these assessments and activities will be mapping with the COs. So the first step in this process is to determine the mapping of the related components and determining the strength of mapping between lower order and higher order outcomes. We will explain it by an example. Okay. And for the mapping purpose, we'll be using some standardized mapping scales. This is one of the mapping scale used by many institutions. This is a 4-point scale. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, the weightages are. And corresponding to 0, if there is no relationship between an assessment or an activity with a CO, there is no relationship, or we can say the weightage is 0. Or if there is 0% attainment, if a student is getting 0% mark for a particular assessment, definitely the attainment is 0. That means weightage is 0. Okay. Am I audible? If I'm audible, please put in the chat box. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now you can see according to the relationship, if it is a low relationship, the weightage is 1. Moderate relationship, weightage is 2. And significant relationship, the weightage is 3. Okay, and we are using another scale. This also is customizable. See, for example, according to the policy of the institution, we can change the scale. So 1 to 50%, it is low attainment, or 51 to 70% can be moderate attainment, and 71 to 100% it can be significant attainment. So based on the interval, that also we can decide. We can give the weightage. Just remember this 4-point scale that we'll be using for the attainment calculation. Okay. Now coming to the mapping, the level 2 mapping. Level 2 mapping means the activities or assessment mapped with the COs. How the mapping can be done? I will give an example. Now, suppose we have a course outcome like this. Already we have gone through the Bloom's taxonomy concept. The Bloom's taxonomy concept, like the different levels of learning, starting with the Romper level and the system. So Romper understanding, then analyzing, evaluating, and finally creating. So there are 6 levels of learning. Already we have discussed it in the first day itself. Now suppose I have a course outcome like this. On completion of this course on Bloom's taxonomy, the persons will be able to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. Suppose this is one of my course outcomes for the course Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, once again I will repeat. On completion of this course, the persons will be able to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. Okay, the persons are able to apply Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. So what is the level of this course outcome? According to the Bloom's taxonomy levels, what level is this course outcome? Can somebody respond? You can put in the chat box. What is the level of this course outcome? As a faculty, this is my course outcome. Level 2. It is applying. It's applying. That means level 3. So this the participants will be this is my is all the be able to frame questions. That means they have to apply Bloom's taxonomy and they should be able to frame questions according to Bloom's taxonomy learning levels. Okay. So that is my course outcome. And I will be designing the teaching, learning and assessment, everything focused on this course outcome. So according to the OBE principle, OBE philosophy, as a faculty, my goal is every participant should be able to apply Bloom's. So it is. So the first day we had a section and discussions, some brainstorming, all these things. Now this is my course outcome. I think an exam. Every participants have attained this outcome. And the exam is explain. So the first question, and what is the purpose of conducting this assessment? All my participants are able to that is my course outcome. And what is the level of this question? The question is explain the different levels of learning. Can you suggest anybody? I'm asking the level. Discuss what is the level of. What is the level of this question? So already Bloom's taxonomy. So when we that may be levels. My taxonomy explain the different learning level. Anybody? My problem here. You see something on the chat box?
There are few responses. It's saying yeah, they're saying L2, level K1. They're responding.
I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible. Are you talking now, sir? When you're speaking, there's a slight break in audio.
Yes, Stephen, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah, okay. Sujin, is it visible now, the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. This is one of my questions in the question paper. See, for example, I am conducting an exam to check whether all the participants have attained this course outcome. So for that purpose, I'll be conducting assessments. Suppose I'm conducting an exam, but this is my first question on the question paper. Okay. So once again, what is the level of this question? Already you have answered, no? Level of the CO is 3. That's fine. So what is the level of this question? Level 2. Okay. Okay. So somebody has answered, it is level 2. Okay. If you look at the action verb, it is level 2. Fine. But what is the cognitive challenge of this question? Even a student can memorize it and they can answer it. So even if the action verb is yes, plain, that is belong to the understanding level. But if you consider the cognitive challenge of the student to answer that question, it can be even Bloomberg level only. Because explain the different levels of learning and cognitive level. That means the different levels the student has to memorize it and they can write the answer. Otherwise, if the student is explaining the different levels with some examples in his own words, it can be level 2. So that depends on the situation, context. Okay, fine. Now, suppose if you consider this as level 1 question, suppose this is a level 1 question and our course outcome is level 3. Okay, then suppose all the participants, getting full mark, 100% mark for this particular question. Then can I assume that my course outcome is fully attained? What is your opinion? Suppose for this particular question, suppose I'm considering it as a level 1 question. That means a remember level question. My course outcome is of apply level. Okay, suppose every participant is getting 100% mark for this particular question. Can I assume that everybody has attained it? No. Because this is a level 1 question. My CO is apply level. So if every participant is answering this question, I cannot assume that all of them have attained or they are able to apply Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. Okay, this is not the application level question. That is the reason. Okay, fine. So what should be the mapping strength now? Suppose I am considering this as level 1 question and the CO is of level 3. What is the mapping strength I should give for this question if I map to CO, this particular CO? Yes, 1. Fine. Because the 4-point scale, we have 0, 1, 2, 3. 1 or low level. Okay. Because the question is 2 level below. That is the reason. Now, my second question in the question paper is, using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare an analyze level question in your subject. Using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare an analyze level question in your subject. What is the level of this question? Using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare an analyze level question in your subject. What is the level of this question? Yeah, it is level 3 only. Level 3 only because it's the application. This is application level. This is application level. Somebody is asking about the different levels of learning. You can refer to the first day's video. It's clearly explained there with examples. Okay. So this is my second question. That is an apply level question because I'm asking the participant to prepare a question, an analyze level question in your subject. So it's only an application level. It's not create. It's only an application level question. It's an application level question. Analyze level question they have to prepare, but they are using Bloom's taxonomy. They are preparing a question only. Okay, so that is an application level question. So this level 3. Now, suppose parts, it's not level 6. It's not create level. No, it is only application level. There is no creativity applied there. The faculty, the student is just applying Bloom's taxonomy, only apply level. Okay, so this is level 3. My CO is also of level 3. So can I expect, can I assume that a student getting 100% mark for this particular question is attained the CO? Okay, yes. Because my CO is of level 3, my question is also of level 3. So that means if the student is getting 100% mark for this particular question, the question level attainment is 100%. Okay. So what is the level, mapping strength now? Low, moderate, or significant? Yeah, high. Level 3. We can have level 3 mapping. Can give weightage 3 because CO is of level 3. Question is also of level 3. That means both are all same level. Now, my third question. Analyze the given set of 25 questions of your course based on Bloom's taxonomy. This is the task you are given the first day. So what is the level of this question? The first day you are given a task, a question paper analysis. You are asked to analyze your question paper. So what is the level of this question? Yes, this is level 4. This is of level 4. The third question is of level 4. Okay. And what about the mapping? If I want to map this level, third question to the CO. Yeah, very significant, high. Definitely the mapping strength is high. This is an analyze level question. And definitely I can expect that the student who is scoring 100% mark for this particular question fully attained that CO, that question level C attainment. Okay. I hope it is clear now. The mapping process is very simple. You look at the level of the question, or if it is an assessment like an assignment or something like that, there also you can map with the that particular CO based on the level of question and level of question. Level 3 is not evaluate, it's only analyze. Just analyzing the questions. They are not making any conclusions based on it. See, for example, if you ask a question like identify the pros and cons of certain things, in that case, they are making a judgment. The pros and cons they are identifying. It is an evaluate level question, but this is only analyze level. And that is the cognitive challenge. You look at the cognitive challenge of the questions. So based on that cognitive challenge, you can classify the levels. So this is the way we can map questions or assessments with the COs. Now, do you have any questions related to this one? Otherwise, I have a question for you. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. I hope it is clear now. Now, my question is, the CO is of level 3. Then why you are asking an analyze level question there? Your CO is level 3, and as a faculty, your target is every student should attain that CO. That means every student should be able to apply Bloom's taxonomy. Framing question. This is your CO. But now you are asking a question at the analyze level, level 4. If there are 5 COs, there are 5 COs. The first CO should be even level 1 or 2 candidate. Those have 5 COs and all of them 4 to 6 level. Okay, that also we will discuss definitely. Question 3, analyze. On this we can decide it is analyzed. If the students are not getting 100% mark, definitely the attainment will be less. Yeah, of course. We cannot expect 100% attainment for every CO. That's why we are setting a target for every CO. See, for example, 50% or 60%, that we will discuss later. We'll be fixing some targets so that we can assume 50% or 60% attainment. Yeah, if there are 5 COs, should the first CO should be Bloom's level 1 or 2. That depends on the course. See the syllabus of the course. For example, if, for certain courses, you can design the CO module wise or unit wise. The syllabus may be divided into units. Then each unit you can have a CO. Otherwise, we can have a vertical model, like for the entire syllabus, you can have COs, 5 COs or 4 COs. Okay. So if every module is independent, it's better you design COs horizontally. That means module wise or unit wise. That will be easy for you for the process for attainment calculation and the mapping. It will be easy for you. But both are correct. In some cases, you cannot have the horizontal way of designing. That means unit wise you cannot do it. So you can have the COs for the entire syllabus. Is there any condition each CO should be in Bloom's level? If so, each unit should have 5 CO. No. That depends on again on the syllabus. See, for example, in the first unit, suppose you have 5 units or 5 modules for the syllabus. In the first unit itself, suppose you are teaching the student to apply something, then your CO should be of apply level. Okay. Otherwise, if it is only the understanding level, then your CO should be of understanding level. Normally, in the first unit, you can have the CO maximum up to the apply level. Okay. Maybe in the last module or last unit, you can go up to analyze level or even evaluate level. Very few cases, you can go up to create level because it's very difficult, tomorrow, sorry, day after tomorrow, you'll have a section that is underlying threats of OBE. So the resource person, Dr. Suresh Nambudiri, will be explaining about a research study conducted in Indian education system. Then you can understand in a better way. Okay. Course with the same COs for multiple modules. Can I have a course with the same COs for multiple modules? Multiple modules means the content will be different, no? So you cannot have same COs, but you can have same levels. That is possible. Same level for COs. Same COs may not be possible because the content may be different. So the COs we write based on the content also. Yeah, you can have same level. That won't be a problem because that again depend on the content you're delivering there. So if you are teaching the student to say analyze something, your CO can be analyzed level. Both modules, the same level you can have. That won't be a problem. I hope your doubts are clear. Any other doubts? Now here we have the third question that is of analyze level. We will discuss the target later. Okay, when we discuss about the attainment calculation. So here the third question is analyze level and the CO is only of apply level. Okay, we are asking here the analyze level actually it is meaningless because your target is already you have fixed, that is at apply level. And then you can ask questions up to apply level. That is possible. More than apply level means it is meaningless. That is the reason. And in that case, suppose we were teaching the students to analyze level, up to analyze level, then your CO should be redesigned. You can have the CO on the analyze level, then it's okay, fine. Okay. No, we will discuss one or two questions again. Now, suppose my CO is of analyze level. Suppose this is my course outcome. On completion of this course, the participants will be able to analyze the questions based on Bloom's taxonomy level. That my CO is of analyze level. Then again, suppose I'm conducting an exam. And this is my first question in the exam. Yeah, the level of this question is level 1. This is level 1. And my CO is analyze level. Now my question is level 1. My CO course outcome is level 4. So what should be the mapping strength? So discuss it's a 4-point scale, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's weak, very low. It's not 0, but we can give 1. Some relationship between the question and the CO. So we can give 1. Fine. Then another question, using Bloom's taxonomy, the same question the previous exam, the previous slide. Using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare an analyze level question in your subject. You're asked to prepare an analyze level question in your subject. What is the level of this question? Level 3. Because this is an application level question. And my CO is level 4, analyze level. So what should be the mapping strength? Level 3 question mapped with the level 4 CO. It can be 2, definitely. Moderate, fine. So I hope this is clear. And again, if there is an assignment, you look at the action verb or the level of the assignment. The same way we can map with the COs. The level of assignment is say 3 and level of CO is also 3. We can give full strength. Okay. Same way for seminar or whatever assessment you conduct, according to the level of the assessment and the level of the question, we can map. So this is the mapping, level 2 mapping. Okay. Now, once you have mapped all the questions, suppose this is an example where we have 15 questions in the question paper. All these 15 questions you can map with the COs. And after the mapping process, you will get a table like this. Each question you can see Some questions are mapped with the CO1, some questions with the CO2, some other with CO3, etc. The mapping strength is also displayed there in the table. This is based on question. The CO level of CO is there, level of question is there. So this level of question mapped with the level of CO. Already we have discussed that. So we can have the mapping process like this. Now, coming to the level 1 mapping. See, here we will be mapping COs with POs or COs with PSOs also. This is a level 1 mapping. And for this purpose, what we have to do, suppose we have a PO1, program outcome number 1. Suppose we have a CO, course outcome, which consists of an action verb and a learning statement. That is a CO. Suppose if you want to map the CO with PO1, take COs one by one. Okay. Then, first of all, identify the competencies related to that PO. Suppose this PO is of communication skills. It's very simple. CO is related to communication skills, the program outcome. Then what are the competencies related to communication skills? The student should be able to read, write, comprehend, or listen. All these are competencies related to communication skills. Okay. So first of all, list down all the competencies related to that particular PO. Then check how many of these competencies are addressed by that course outcome. Okay. If it is more than 40%, you can give 3. Between 25% and 40%, you can give 2. And if less than 25%, give 1. Less than 5%, give 0. So this is a scale. This is provided by ACT. So we can map COs with POs like this. First of all, I'll repeat the process. Identify the competencies related to that PO. Then consider COs one by one. For first CO, consider the action verb and the learning statement. These are the components of the CO. Now, identify how many of these competencies are addressed by that CO. Okay, if it is 40, greater than 40%, you can give 3 because this is more generic. That is why even 40% is enough. And this is the process, but by practice, you can do it. See, for example, you can check how much related SEO is with a PO. So you can complete it for a particular course. You may have 5 course outcomes. Suppose there are 10 POs. These 5 course outcomes you have to map with the 10 POs. Okay. For some POs, there is no relationship, so you can give 0. This you can do it, for an entire semester. Suppose you are handling 2 or 3 courses. So maximum you may have 15 or 20 COs. And all these COs you can map with POs, the respective POs. This can be completed in half an hour if you are an experienced faculty. So by experience, you can do it. Just like a paper evaluation. For paper evaluation as a faculty, say for example, for the first 10 papers, you may need half an hour or 1 hour. And for the rest of the 40 or 50 papers, you can do it for 3 hours. So the same way, by practice, you can do it. The beginning of semester, every semester, you can do it. Maybe in half an hour or 1 hour, you can complete the process. That's enough. So this is the process. I already explained the process, how to map COs with POs, identify the competencies of the POs. Then how much of these competencies are addressed by a particular CO. Based on that, you can have the mapping. I hope it is clear. Any doubts related to this? Now, after the mapping process, say for example, here we have 5 course outcomes, 9 POs. After the mapping process, we'll get a table like this. Each CO mapped with the different POs, with the different mapping scales. Somebody has have a doubt. Between 25%, 40% is 2. How to calculate? Okay. That means I'll give an example. Suppose you have, say, 10 competencies for a PO, and your course outcome, 3 of your course outcome, 3 of these competencies are addressed by a particular CO. That means 30%. In that case, you can give 2. Between 25% and 40%, you can give 2. That is an example. And if 4 or 5 competencies are addressed by a particular CO, you can give full mapping, 3. Okay, so that's a process. So after mapping, after the mapping process, you will get a table like this for each course outcome. For each course, you have a table like this. All the course outcomes mapped with the different POs. If there is no relationship, the mapping strength is 0. Okay. The same way, CO-PSO mapping. And here the relationship may be more strong. See, because PSO means program specific outcomes. Program specific outcomes. So more related to COs. Okay. Is there a minimum for number of competencies to be mapped for a CO? Is there a minimum for number of competencies to be mapped for a CO? Understand the problem and the question. Minimum means 5%. No? If there is the answer, see, if there is 5%, at least 5% competencies are addressed by a CO, then you can give 1. Less than 5%, then 0. Yeah. So this is the PSO, CO-PSO mapping, and finally, this is the mapping process. Now we will go to the next step, that is competency. Can explain it. Okay. Competencies means, I hope Dr. Sunil Jovas explained it last day when we discussed about the program outcomes. The program outcomes we will define based on the graduate attributes. We may have different graduate attributes, like team skills is a graduate attribute, or problem solving skills is a graduate attribute, or everybody knows communication skills. So for every profession, communication skills is required. So communication skill is an attribute. Now, if you want to convert that attribute into a PO, first of all, identify the competencies related to that communication skills. So what are the competencies? If you say that a particular student has got good communication skills, that means he is good at reading, writing, speaking. All these are competencies, no, related to communication skills. So in that way, we can identify the competencies related to a particular PO. Okay. That is competence, meant by competencies. Okay. Now we will discuss how to calculate the attainment. Hope my screen is visible. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So here we will discuss how to calculate the attainment. Okay. All these slides already discussed. So what it means by OBE, already discussed. I'm not discussing all these slides here. So what is the difference between the traditional system and the OBE system? The traditional system, it is teacher-centric, whereas in the OBE, it is student-centric. The traditional system, importance on teaching and content, whereas in the OBE, importance on learning and process. And again, in traditional system, it is knowledge-driven and rote learning, whereas in OBE, learning ensures knowledge and performance. already, I think you have gone through these concepts. What is the paradigm here? As a faculty, as a teacher, you are going to the class now. So before going to the class, we will think like this. What should I teach today? So we'll be referring to some textbooks or our notes. Then we will be going to the class. Whereas in the outcome-based education, the OBE philosophy, the OBE system, we should think like this. What should my students be able to do with what they learn? Okay. So what should my students be able to do with what they learn? That is a paradigm. I hope most of you have seen this on internet somewhere. You can see 90% of the learning happens when we teach others. Okay. 75% learning happens when we practice doing something. Then through discussions, demonstrations, etc. Because when we start teaching as a faculty, this is our experience, no? When we started teaching, we have learned many things. Okay. So the same way, as a student, again, if we provide them with more seminars or more learning opportunity, learning activities, definitely they will learn more. That is again the philosophy of OBE. So here you can see only 5% learning happens through lecturing. So this is a research report. You can search on internet. That means more learning happens when we teach others, when we practice doing, means projects or internships, then discussions, etc. So we should definitely implement such things in our teaching learning activities. Now coming to another question. So what are the three pillars of a professional, or what are the qualities of a great teacher? Can somebody comment on it? All of us are faculty members. What are the qualities of a great teacher? Listen the students. Good. Yeah. Demonstrate. What are the qualities of a good teacher? Anybody else? Patience. Yeah. Evaluation. You should become a professional using ICT and technology. Good. Reach to the lowest student. Communication skills. Empathy. Interactive. Okay. Good. Application-oriented teaching. Facilitate understanding students' capacity. Leadership skills. Inspire. Yeah. Discuss or interact. Is the learning objectives of the audience. Facilitator. Allow them to peer teaching. Communicate. Teaching to think the given knowledge. Engage the students. Upgrade ourselves. Continuous learning. Ability to connect with students. Knowledge, inspiring communication. Good. So there are a lot of suggestions coming. Interesting and grab the attention of the students. Okay. So this is the question on the screen. 3 pillars of a professional, or even we can think about 3 pillars of a teacher. Deep understanding, how you aspire to the students' learning centers, love teaching. Yeah. Knowledge. Okay. So a lot of suggestions are there. Now, if you broadly classify all these attributes into 3 areas, what are they? If you broadly classify them into 3 broad areas. Preparation, good listener. All these are attributes, definitely. It's good. Suppose we want to broadly classify them into 3 areas. Yeah, knowledge, skill, and attitude. It's there. knowledge, skill, and attitude, or we call it ask, attitude, skill, and knowledge. We can classify all these attributes into these three areas: attitude, skill, knowledge. Okay. Now, while discussing the Bloom's taxonomy, there are three domains on Bloom's taxonomy. One domain is cognitive domain that we have discussed in detail. There are again 6 levels in cognitive domain. And this cognitive domain represents the knowledge. Okay. So attitude means we have the affective domain. And again, skills connected with the psychomotor domain. So attitude, skill, knowledge. Attitude is affective domain. Skill is psychomotor domain. And knowledge is the cognitive domain. Cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Okay. Based on that, Bloom's taxonomy is designed, developed. So these are the three pillars. These are the three pillars of a professional. Same with the teachers like us. Now, the NBA has formulated 12 attributes, 12 POs. And if we can divide this into three areas plus habit, that is lifelong learning. So knowledge, attitude, and skills. Now, suppose these are some of the POs. So today we are going to calculate the attainment. So we'll see how to calculate the attainment. After calculating the attainment, suppose if you are able to provide a score sheet to the students. This is an example of a PO attainment for a particular student. Out of three, for disciplinary knowledge 2.3, communication skills 1.8. That means out of 3, this is the score of a student. It's only an example. So if you are able to provide a score like this, we can say that our OBE implementation process is complete. So today we will understand how to calculate the attainment. For that purpose, I'm considering POs, program outcomes. There are 9 graduate attributes listed here. These are the POs of our institution, Marian College Puttikanam. We have 9 POs, starting from domain knowledge, then communicative competence, etc. And the last one is self-directed and lifelong learning. These are our POs, 9 POs. So for this demo purpose, I am considering these 9 POs. These are some of the PSOs. PSOs for a BCA program, I have taken it from internet. Okay, only for this demo purpose. Again, I have course outcomes. There's a course called Introduction to Computers. I have taken 5 course outcomes. Again from internet. Now, there can be some other activities for each semester. Here we have 2 activities listed. Outreach and industrial visit. These are activities. The activities also can be mapped with the POs. We can have activity outcome. That also we will explain while showing a report. Now, there will be a predefined mapping scale. Already we have discussed a mapping scale. Then direct and indirect assessment methods may be used in preset proportions. There will be direct assessment, there will be indirect assessment. So direct assessment means all the assessments conducted by the institution or the faculty. And if there is a third-party assessment, that is an indirect assessment. Suppose if you ask the industry people to assess the students based on some criteria during their industrial visit, that's a third-party assessment. You can consider it as an indirect assessment. Or you can conduct a survey among the students. You can have a course and survey at the end of the semester. You can ask the student, in your opinion, what is your attainment? That is again a survey. That is again an indirect assessment. Then we have different types of components. There are a lot of, you can design a different innovative components for assessments. You can have substantive exam, regular internal exams, other innovative continuous assessments or activities. Then you can have events, personality assessments, etc. Questions in semester examination get mapped to different COs. Already we have seen how to map COs. Sorry, questions with the COs. Then other components like assignment or seminar, they can be directly mapped with the COs or at the rubric level. You can have a rubric or criteria for evaluation for this assignment. And each rubric you can map with the different outcomes. Then COs are in turn mapped with the POs and PSOs. If there are some general activities already we have discussed like outreach or industry visit, they can also map with the POs and PSOs. CO attainments can be tabulated at the end of each semester based on student scores. So CO means course outcomes for a particular course. You can calculate the attainment at the end of the semester. But program outcomes and the program specific outcomes, the attainments can be calculated at the end of the program. Final attainment. The same MAP scale we are using here. We have the weight 0, 1, 2, 3 attainment. We have nil, low, moderate, significant. The intervals are also same. After the CO PO mapping, we'll have a table like this. Each CO mapped with the POs, and activity outcomes also can be mapped with the POs. We'll get a sample program matrix like this. For example, if you're having a 3-year program, say BCom or something like that, and for a BCom program, each semester, suppose on an average, you have 5 courses. So in one semester, 5 courses. If 6 semesters, 6 into 5. Minimum 30 courses will be there for the entire BCom program. It's only an example. Suppose you have 30 programs and 5 course outcomes for each course. That means 30 into 5. 150 course outcomes will be there. For an entire BCom program, 150 course outcomes will be there. And all these 150 course outcomes you have to map with POs and PSOs. And once the mapping process is over, you'll get a table like this. I will tell you, you cannot do it manually. The attainment calculation, it is impossible, if you do it through manually. You have to use some tools. So I will explain the process. After that, I can definitely I will show you a tool and some analytical reports. You can see the first column, all the 150 course outcomes are listed. And there are activity outcomes. Means if you are conducting an activity, you can have an activity outcome which can also be mapped with the POs. You can see the body of this table. We have the values 0, 1, 2, 3. So based on the relationship between that CO and PO, and also PSOs are listed here, the mapping process is over. So this is a sample program matrix. This you can do semester wise. For example, every semester you are teaching a course, and during that beginning of the semester you can do the mapping, and incrementally it will be added. Otherwise, as a best practice, the beginning of the program, see if it's a 6-semester program, the first semester itself, you can have a department meeting, a 1 full day department meeting you can conduct, and you can do the entire mapping process. That will be advantageous. I will show you some reports later, then you can understand it. So if you can do the entire mapping process, the first semester itself, you can understand, say if there are some POs which are not properly addressed by COs. In that case, you can have some add-on courses, or you can have some activities for which that PO can be addressed, properly addressed. Okay. And if you're going for accreditation, you can mention that as a need analysis for starting an add-on course. Now we have a CO-linked assessment plan. A CO-linked assessment plan. The faculty has to design this CO-linked assessment plan. This is only an example. I will explain what it is. Suppose we have the different activities or assessments in a semester. All these activities or assessments, you can map with the different COs. Suppose here, in this example, 60% mark for the final exam, that means semester exam, and 40% mark for the continuous assessments. So we can have seminar. Suppose a seminar, the mark is 4. It is marked with the CO1. So if it is designed unit-wise, for unit 1, we have CO1. Then your seminar should be, the topic should be from semester 1. Otherwise, suppose the seminar topic is from 2 modules or 2 units, you can address, you can map with the CO1 and CO2. That is also possible. The same way, assignment 3.5 marks mapped with the CO2. Same case with video presentation, etc. Suppose exam 1, suppose you have, say, 5 questions for 10 questions in exam 1. And all these questions are from first 2 modules, so first 2 units. You can map with the CO1 and CO2. And final exam, as you can see, you have questions from all the modules or the entire syllabus. That means some of the questions can be mapped with CO1, some of the questions with the CO2, etc. So the entire question paper, if you map each question with COs, all the COs will be addressed, the final exam. Or in some institutions, you can decide, say for the example, the first 2 modules will be covered in the one of the internal exams. Then the next 3 modules or units can be there for the semester exam. There are some universities, they are following that scheme. Anyway, according to your policy, you can have a CEO linked assessment plan like this. Each of the assessments or activities will be mapped with a particular CEO or more than one CEO. Okay, this is only an example again, I will tell you. Now, suppose you are conducting the assessments. Suppose you are conducting the assessments. Seminar 1. Sorry, seminar. Suppose a particular student gets got 40% mark for seminar. That means the interval from 1 to 50%, the weightage is 1. So if the student is scoring 40% means it is between 1 to 50%. The score is 1 for low level attainment. And for assignment, mapped with the CO2, for the student is getting 85% mark. Okay, so the attainment is 3. That means from 71 to 100%, that is the interval where we have significant attainment. That means 3. So based on the marks, the attainment will be displayed there. If you are using a tool, the last column, you need the software, the tool will be filling it. Okay. And for the final exam, we are not considering it here. So now we are going to calculate the attainment for the student based on the continuous assessments. And after that, we will calculate for the semester end exam. Now here, for seminar, we have CO1. It's mapped with the CO1. The table already we have discussed. No? From 71 to 100%, already we have discussed that mapping scale. It is 3. Okay. Otherwise, you can later you can go through the video. The mapping strength, the scale is already there in one of the slides. I'll repeat once more. All these assessments or activities, we can map with the course outcomes. Okay, it is already done. And now we are conducting the assessments. Suppose we are conducting the seminar. A particular student itself got 40% score for seminar. It is mapped with the CO1. And since the student is getting only 40% mark, got only 40% mark, the mapping scale, we have from 1 to 50%, the level is 1. That is why the last column, it is given 1. From 71 to 100%, it is 3. That's why for seminar, the student has scored 85%, attainment is 3. Whereas video presentation, CO3, score is 70%. So from 51 to 70%, the attainment is 2, only 2. That's why we are given 2 there. Okay. So this process continues. Like for exam 1, the score is 55%. That means from 51 to 70%, the attainment is 2. That's why it is 2. Okay. Now for CO1, we have 1. Again, CO1, the exam 1 is mapped with the CO1. There also we have attainment 2. For seminar, we have 1. And for exam 1, we have 2. Okay. So we take the simple average. 1 plus 2 divided by 2, 1.5. This is the CO1 attainment of this particular student H for the continuous assessment. Okay. The same way, CO2. There are 3 places CO3 is coming. CO2 is there. Assignment mapped with the CO2. Attainment is 3. Group activity mapped with the CO2. Attainment is 3 again. And for exam 1, it is mapped with the CO2 and the attainment is 2. That means 3 plus 3 plus 2 divided by 3. The attainment is 2.6. The same way we can calculate the attainment for each course outcomes. Okay. So this is for continuous assessment. And for final exam, if you're an autonomous college or a university, you'll get the question paper and question-wise marks also. In that case, you will get the report and comparatively an accurate report or better attainment calculation, because we are also mapping the final exam, the questions in the final exam. Okay, now I will give an example. Suppose there are 25 questions in the question paper. Suppose there are 25 questions in the question paper. And all these questions are mapped with the particular COs. Some questions may be mapped with the CO1, some questions may be CO2, some questions may be mapped with the both CO1 and CO2. So for final exam, since it covers in the entire syllabus, all the questions can be mapped with the different COs and all COs are mapped. Now, here, I'm going to pick those questions in the question paper which are mapped with the CO1, because I'm going to calculate the attainment of CO1. I'll repeat once more. Suppose there are 25 questions in the question paper. All these questions are mapped with the COs. Okay. So here, I'm picking those questions which are mapped with the CO1. Here you can see question number 1 mapped with the CO1, 16 mapped with the CO1, etc. So there are 5 questions in the question paper now, out of 25, which are mapped with the CO1. And you can see the last column. What is the last column? The question number 1 mapped with the CO1 with stage 2. Because already we have discussed each of the questions we can map with COs. Looking at the level of CO, at the level of the question, you can have the mapping process. Okay. So here question number 1 mapped with the CO1 with the weightage 2. The weightage 2 is given at the last column. Similarly, question number 16 mapped with the CO1 with weightage 3. Question number 18 mapped with the CO1 with weightage 1. So the last column represents the question-based mapping. Question mapped with the corresponding CO. Weightage is given based on the mapping scale. That also we have discussed, no? The COPO mapping already we have discussed. The questions with the CO, that also we have discussed. Look, here we are not discussing about the PO. Here we are discussing about the CO only, the CO calculation. And for calculating CO, for a particular course, CO attainment we are calculating. And for that purpose, each of these assessments or activities conducted for that course, we are mapping with COs. We are not considering the PO now. The PO we will consider later. So CO1 have necessarily a Bloom level 1 question and CO5 a level 5 for this question. No. The course okay, depends on the course outcome. We can have the questions. Okay, the COs already we have discussed all these things. Maybe later we will discuss again. Or if possible, we are having some offline workshops going on different places in India. So it's better if you can attend some of the offline workshops. We can have an interaction there more effectively. Anyway, this we will discuss later. Okay, I'll repeat once more. Here there are 25 questions in the question paper for the semester end exam. And out of 25 questions, I am picking those questions which are mapped with the CO1. And the first column, you can see the question numbers there. These are the questions which are mapped with the CO1. And now the last column, all these questions mapped with the CO1 with a specific weightage. And that weightage is given in the last column. That also we have discussed how to map questions with the CO. The previous section, today itself, in the beginning of the section we have discussed. Okay, so that is given the last column. Now suppose we are conducting the assessment, the exam. For the first question, number one, the question number one, suppose a student got full mark. It's a 1 mark question, 100% mark. So the question level attainment is 3, because from 71 to 100% in the mapping scale, we can give 3. That is our mapping scale. So this is the question level attainment. Okay, the last column is the mapping strength of the question with the CO. Again, question number 16. Suppose student is getting 75% mark. That means from 71 to 100%, the mapping the question level attainment is 3. So that is why the third column it is 3. Then question number 18. The student is got only 50% mark. So the question level attainment is 1. That is based on the interval that already we have seen that interval. It is displayed here also. 0 to 50% you can see weightage 1. 51 to 70% weightage 2. 71 to 100% weightage 3. This is the interval we are using. Okay. Now, here we will take the weighted average. 3 into 2, 3 into 3 plus etc. Divided by the 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. The weighted average. So we can see the 2.09. That is the attainment of CO1, course outcome number 1 of a particular student. Okay, for the final exam, substantive exam. This is calculated based on the questions asked in the final exam. And all these questions are mapped with the CO1. Okay. Similarly, we have to calculate CO2, CO3, etc. Now, for calculating the attainment, again, there is a ratio. We have to identify the proportion, how much proportion value, how much weightage we have to give for continuous assessment and how much weightage we have to give for final exam. Here I have given 80% weightage for continuous assessment and 20% for final exam. This is not for the mark list. It's only for calculating the attainment. Why I have given 80% weightage for continuous assessment? Because through continuous assessment, we can give different type of assessments. See, for example, assignment, seminar, we can have projects or project presentations. Many innovative activities we can give under the continuous assessment banner, but not for the semester end exam. That's why I have given more weightage for continuous assessment only for calculating the attainment. This will not reflect in the mark list. The mark list, according to the regulations, see, 60% for final exam or 40% for the continuous assessment. The mark list will be prepared based on that only. But for calculating the attainment, I can change the proportion. Okay. Because we have already seen a report. Through continuous assessments, again, we can give them some learning activities. So this is the proportion I have used here. And based on that proportion, I have calculated the attainment now. This is the CO1 attainment. Now again, there is another assessment, that is indirect assessment. We are discussing only a direct assessment. That means faculty is conducting the exams, conducting the assessments, etc. Now, we can conduct a survey among the students. This can be a course and survey. At the end of the course, we can conduct a survey. And you can ask the student, in your opinion, what is your attainment? So definitely the student will give their response. And that also you have to incorporate for the final calculation. Here I have given 20% weightage for survey and only 80% for our direct assessment. You can change that ratio according to the policy of the institution. In some institutions, they are giving only 10% weightage for survey and 90% for direct assessment. All this depends on the policy of the institution. You can decide it. Now, according to this proportion ratio, now we'll get the attainment, final CO attainment. You can see there 2.1 to 1.52, etc. Okay. This is the way we can calculate the CO attainment. And finally, for every student, if there are 60 students in the class, you'll get a table like this. For every student, CO1 to CO5 attainments are calculated and it will be displayed. Then you can calculate the average attainment out of 3. Percentage attainment, I will show you a tool, then you can understand in a better way. Once if you calculate the CO attainment, then you can calculate the PO attainment, because already you have a table like this. Already the CO PO mapping is completed. And if it is not completed, the first semester you can calculate the PO attainment, and the second semester you can calculate up to second semester like this. Now here you can see already the CO attainment, CO1, CO2, the CO1 attainment is calculated, and the CO1 is mapped with the PO1 with the weightage 2, then with weightage 3, etc. So already the mapping process is done. So once if you calculate the CO attainment, you can calculate the weighted average like this. You can see the first column 2 into 2.12. 2 is the mapping strength with that CO with the PO. Again 3 into 1.52. 1.52 is the CO2 attainment. So like this, you can calculate the PO attainment. And in the last row, the first column, you will get the weighted average. And that will be the PO attainment, PO1 attainment. Then the second column, you will get PO2 attainment. The same way for all the POs, the calculation can be done. Again, I will tell you, you cannot do it manually. If you want to do it in the proper way, you have to use some software or some tools. Okay. Again, we have direct and indirect assessment for PO. PO also we can have you can have the direct and indirect assessment. At the end of the program, you can conduct a survey among the students. And for direct assessment, if you are giving 80% weightage, you can give it. Otherwise, 90% weightage, you can give it. Then you will get the PO attainment for the entire students in the batch. If there are 60 students in the batch, PO and PSO attainment, you will get it like this. Then you can calculate the average PO attainment, the percentage of students have attained, say 60% or more. All these data are available. In institutional level also, you can have the average attainment level. You can conduct alumni survey, employer survey, then identifying the gap and formulating action plans. That is very necessary for OBE implementation process. Okay, so we will now we will discuss with a tool so that I will show you some analytical report. So in the next 10 minutes, we can finish it. I will explain with the tool so that you can easily understand the process. Right. So my screen is available.
Yes.
So this is a tool where you can see some of the courses listed there. So this is a faculty login where all the courses taught by that faculty is listed. Okay. Now, if you're using a tool like this, you can just upload the course outcomes. Now you can see the course outcomes here, and the target also you can fix. The target means usually we can fix target 50% or 60% the initial years, and gradually you can improve on it. So here you can see the course outcomes along with the targets. So for the faculty, the first step is upload the course outcomes and the target for each course outcome. Okay. Then the CO-PO mapping you can do. The COs, you can see the POs here. And CO-PO mapping you can do. The mapping strength is already given 0, 1, or 2, 1, 2, or 3. So once the mapping process is over, you'll get a table like this. The same way you can have the CO-PSO mapping, and you will get a summary. See, for example, you can check how the COs are mapped with the POs. In this case, you can see for domain knowledge, more COs are mapped with the domain knowledge. Proper representation is there. Whereas for communicating competence, the second PO, only 2 course outcomes are mapped there. That means comparatively less representation of COs. So in that case, you can again revisit the mapping process, or you can have some add-on courses or some activities, so that the particular PO is properly addressed by some activities or some course outcomes. Now, after the mapping process, the next process is identify the components for assessments. Like you may have conducted exams. So each question already you have mapped with the taxonomy levels and COs. So that mapping process already done. If you're using a question bank or a question paper generation, already the mapping process is done there. So you can download the data from there and upload it. No need of again entering the questions or a mapping here. Actually, the Government College Guntur, they are using both these applications. I'll show you the question bank later. They are using this application so that each assessment or questions, they can add it under the components, that tab, and they can do the mapping process. The same way with the, say, seminar or group discussion. You can have a seminar, and the rubrics are also given there. Each rubric you can map with the taxonomy levels and COs. Okay. This is an assignment. There is no rubrics are available. So the assignment itself, you can map with the taxonomy levels and COs. So if you have n number of activities or assessments like this, all those activities or assessments, you can bring it here. You can have them mapping Bloom's taxonomy levels, and with the COs also you can map it. So the mapping process is over. The components you have added. Now you conduct the exams. When you conduct the exams or conduct the assessments, say it may be distributed throughout the seminar. Maybe the first semester, first month, you will be having some seminar or assess some exams. So every time when we complete that particular assessment activity, you can upload the mark here. Using the template, you can download an Excel template and add the marks there. Otherwise, you can directly add. Okay. After adding the marks, the system will calculate the attainment. The attainment calculation is over. You can see the attainment. So manually, you are not going to calculate the attainment. You just upload the course outcomes, complete the mapping process, add components, conduct exams. No further mapping or anything is required. So the system will calculate the attainment. Likewise, you can see the first column. The first column, the attainment of each and every student out of 3. You can call an average of the batch. Third column, again CO2 attainment like this. Attainment is calculated. The same way, the PO attainment. You'll get the PO attainment. PO1 attainment out of 3. Okay, PSO. All these values are available. Then you will get some reports like this. This is very much useful. See, for example, we have the target CO1 60%. CO2 target is again 60%. So the first row, the targets are given there. Then the average attainment for each CO, standard deviation is given there, and percentage attainment. That means for CO1, we have fixed the target as 60%. 90% of the students of the batch have achieved that 60% target. Okay, that is given there. That means out of 3, 90% means 2.7. Sorry, 60% means 1.8. So 90% of the students have achieved that 1.8, that attainment. Out of 3, 1.8 is a 60%. So this is useful for accreditation purpose. For accreditation purpose, you have to mention all these things. How much percentage of the students have achieved that target? Okay. And the third column, you can see only 17.5% of the students have achieved 60% target. So in that case, what you can do is, you can again conduct another activity, another assessment, and you can bring every student to the desired level. Okay. And that can be an OB only assessment. That means it will not reflect in the mark list. But for OB calculation, attainment calculation, you can have OB only activities that also you can conduct. Okay. So that you can bring every student to the desired level. Or we can call it assurance of learning. That is another concept which you can use for accreditation purpose. So you are assuring every student who is joining the institution that we will bring them to a particular level of attainment of the outcomes. So these reports are useful for that purpose. Somebody is asking about this tool. Actually, this tool we have developed. This is a software tool which is being used by many higher education institutions. Guntur Government College, they are using it. Okay, the same way. So this will avoid, many manual processes. And again, we have some other analytics reports available in the HOD login. I will show you a few of them. Say, for example, you will get a progression report. Here you can see an yellow color and a blue color. The yellow color represents the performance of a particular student. How the student is progressing semester-wise, the taxonomy levels. The blue color represents the performance of the batch, or how the batch is performing the semester wise. So this is a comparison graph. This can be used for PTA meetings, so we can convince the parents how the student is performing, the PO levels. So this comparison is available. The blue line represents the batch performance, whereas the yellow line represents the particular student's performance. Again, we can have some other reports. We'll show you one or two more. So this is a performance of a particular student in the second semester compared to the first semester. We can see more upward trends here for PO, PSO, attainment. More upward trends are there. And if we are going to the third semester, here we can see more downward trends for the same student. This is an example. Maybe there are some problem with the subject or the personal problem of the student or family problem. Because of that, the student cannot perform well. So such students will go to another list. It's an outlier report. We can have outlier report, we can have slow learners report, we can have advanced learners report. All these report will get. So this is a way we even semester-wise comparison we will get. And we'll also get the slow learners report, advanced learners report, etc. I'll show you an example. You can see slow learners report, how many slow learners are there in each semester, how many outliers are there. So this is also useful for accreditation purpose. So we can mention that we are identifying the slow learners and advanced learners or outliers, and we are taking remedial measures based on that. So, okay. So such lot of reports are available if you use a particular tool for the purpose. Okay. So that's about this attainment calculation and a tool. Tomorrow, probably I will show you some other tools, including AI tools. Before that, the LMS, today you have two tasks available. If you have any doubts or clarifications, you can post it in this Padlet so that we will take it up tomorrow. I'm sharing the LMS.
It is visible, sir.
Pardon me? It is visible
It is
now?
visible. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about an AI tool so that you can use that also. There were some questions, otherwise I will explain the task for today. This tool is online. Yeah. No, you cannot use this for this FDP. This is actually a software which is online. Yeah, the recorded section is available on the LMS. I hope there are no further doubts. And if you have any doubts, further doubts, you can post in the Padlet. Tomorrow we'll discuss. These are two. Yeah, you can contact the. Sujin will share the numbers. You can contact there. In my knowledge, there are no free softwares for this. Again, if you're going for free softwares, I don't think they will get a lot of reports like this because there is a process behind it. You can contact the same numbers which you're contacting for LMS answers and all. Okay. Now, I will give an idea about the tasks for today. Okay, this is a small task. You can see formulation of assessment questions with respect to a course outcome and finding the mapping strength. Suppose you can pick up a topic from a particular course where you have written the course outcome. You can write the course outcome the top. You can write the course outcome here and prepare a remembering level question. And you can give the mapping strength here. You can write a course outcome. The same course outcome you can use here also for the second question, but your question should be understanding level. And you can give the mapping strength. That question to that CO, what is the mapping strength? The same way, you have to prepare an applied level question and analyzing level question. The mapping strength is given here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So based on that mapping strength, you can give the mapping strength in this particular columns. So this is one of your tasks. We have one more task. This is again an Excel template. Just to understand the attainment calculation. You cannot use this template for attainment calculation. This is only for this purpose, for this doing a small task. Okay. Only to understand the process. So here you have the course outcomes listed there. For CO1, CO2, etc. If you want, you can write the course outcomes there. Otherwise, CO1, CO2, that is enough. Then here, again, you can take a question paper. Suppose you have 10 questions in the question paper. You can choose 10 questions. And question number 1, you can write the question there. Otherwise, no need of writing it because question number 1, it is mentioned there. Then suppose it is mapped with the CO1 with the weightage 2. You can put that weightage 2 there. If it is not mapped with the CO2, that is 0. So you can select 10 questions and each question you can map with the different COs. You can check which CO it is mapped. And you can to give the maximum mark here. Suppose for question number 1, map F1. Question number 2, the mark is 2. Likewise, you can put the marks. So only 2 things you have to do. The questions map with the COs and the maximum mark copy that question. That's the first sheet. The second sheet, you have to enter the marks for 10 students. Roll number 1 to 10 is given there. If you want to write the name, you can write the name of the student, otherwise leave it. Then our roll number is enough. Then for question number 1, for roll number 1, suppose got a full mark, put 1 there. For question number 2, again 1 mark or 2, you can put it there. So you can fill that roll numbers up to 10, and for 10 questions you can just fill it. Also, you can add the target here. You get 50% there, or suppose 60% for the second CO. And number of students is 10 already. It is given there. or if it is not given there, you have to put the number of students for which you are planning to calculate the attainment. So only these 2 sheets you have to fill. The 3rd sheet, no need of adding anything there. You'll get the attainment, the 3rd sheet. It's only a sample for a learning purpose. Okay. So the 1st sheet, 2nd sheet, you have to add the values. And 3rd sheet, you will get the analysis. So that's about this task. We have 2 tasks. Okay. I hope if there are no questions, we can wind up. Okay. And if you have any further questions, we can add it to the Padlet so that we will discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow we have 2 sessions. So in the one section, we will discuss about some AI platforms and again some other tools. Then OBE the road ahead. So all these things we will discuss tomorrow. And the last 2 days we have sections on generative AI. And again, how to use generative AI in research and all. It's very interesting sessions. Please do attend all these sections. Okay, thank you for your patience. Sorry for the initial interruption, maybe due to some network issues. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Mentor sir. Thank you for that wonderful session. Before we end the session for today, we'll have the vote of thanks that will be delivered by Dr. Shahida Akhtar, who is the Assistant Professor in Computer Science, Government College for Women, Autonomous, Guntur. Over to you, ma'am.
Respected today's dignitaries, all the participants, myself, Dr. Shahida Akhtar, take this privilege to propose vote of thanks for the today's session. First of all, I thank our resource person, Dr. Mendes Jacobs, sir, for clearly explaining about the today's session, like levels of various levels of mapping and what are the different course outcomes as per the Bloom's taxonomy and COPO mapping. And sir has clearly discussed about the outcome-based education, and we learned the differences between the traditional system and outcome-based education, and what are the good qualities of a teacher. And sir has clearly explained regarding the COPO attainment and various levels of attainment. We have clarified all the doubts, and sir has explained the OBE tool. Already Government College for Women Guntur is using this OBE tool. I think all the other participants from different disciplines and different colleges have learned about this tool. Thank you so much, sir. And last, I thank the Commissionerate of Collegiate Education and Government College for Women for arranging this wonderful FDP for all the staff. Thank you so much, sir. And I thank all the participants for patiently listening and learning this outcome-based education and various levels of attainment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the vote of thanks. Tomorrow we will have a session. Having 2 sessions actually. There will be first session on outcome-based academic research by Dr. Kamal Shah, and the second session on OBE for accreditation road ahead, AI assisted assessments, but that will be taken by Dr. Mendes. Please join in on time. We will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you for attending this session effectively. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you all and have a pleasant evening.